Hello and welcome back to Mental Health Toolkit. My name is Annie and I'm going to be talking about self-compassion today. I'll start by defining self-compassion by one of the leading experts in the field and outlining 3 core elements of self-compassion practice. I'll apply those elements to a scenario in my own life and then finally leave you with some tips on how to engage self-compassion in your own practice. Kristin Neff is a leading expert in the field of self-compassion. She has a few TED Talks, her own website that is filled with great resources about self-compassion. She defines it this way. Self-compassion is not a way of judging ourselves positively, but it's about relating to ourselves kindly as we would a friend. When you're having a difficult time, you failed, or you notice something you don't like about yourself, you stop to tell yourself, this is really difficult right now. How can I comfort and care for myself in this moment? Again, when you're engaging self-compassion, you stop and tell yourself, this is really difficult right now. And you ask, how can I care and comfort myself in this moment? You can find access to Kristin Neff's website and TED Talk in my comment section below. I've also offered a handout that walks you through the steps at the end of this video that I'm going to talk through. So you have access to all of that in the comments below. Kristin Neff identifies 3 primary elements of self-compassion: self-kindness, common humanity, and mindfulness. So I'm going to talk through a situation in my own life that I've had to apply self-kindness, common humanity, and mindfulness. I absolutely love to sing. I have sang my entire life, probably been exposed to music since I was in utero, and I often sing mostly either in my home or in my car and at my church. And anytime I'm singing on my own or with my friends or even in rehearsals at church, I am fairly calm. I enjoy it. It's very fun. And then when I'm about to go on in front of people to sing, my body starts getting really anxious. I feel out of control and I don't know what's happening, but my body kind of revolts against me. So when I'm applying self-kindness to this experience of feeling really anxious, my hands sometimes will shake, my voice will shake, my stomach is turning, I use this statement. My body is getting anxious and I feel out of control and I don't know if it will stop. I'll say a phrase like the one she used. This is really frustrating and difficult right now. And I also accept myself in this moment. So I'm practicing kindness to myself as if I would a friend. I check in with common humanity around being anxious before going on stage for something. Many people who dance, act, and play instruments and sing get performance anxiety. That's just a part of that experience in life. Not everybody does, but there's many famous people and many people that I know that have some element of anxiety. And that's the common humanity part. So whatever you struggle with, whatever you're facing in your own life that's difficult, kind of check in with who else do you know might have that struggle. Or even if you did a quick Google search, you would find that thousands, maybe hundreds, maybe millions even of people have that same challenge at one time or another. Then I ask myself, what do I need? And that question pairs with the mindfulness piece. Kind of what in this moment do I need right now? And what I typically need when I'm anxious is some time to breathe and kind of inhale in calm and peace and try to exhale and expel the worry and anxiety and fear inside of me. So I use the skill of square breathing, which I have a video about how to do that. And as I'm inhaling through my nose, I think the words calm and peace, and I try to take that into my body and to calm my belly and to calm my nerves in my body. And I exhale worry and anxiety. Not everything is resolved by using those phrases and those calming techniques. I do typically experience a calm in my body, but I more experience a new belief that whether or not I get really anxious, whether or not my body does calm down, that my worth is not tied to whether or not I'm anxious, that I am okay no matter what happens. So I'm going to walk through some extra tips on how to develop your own self-compassion statements. So first, you want to name the experience and the feelings and body sensations that come with it. So let's say you haven't talked to your friends in a while, and maybe you feel a bit ignored and lonely in that experience. So you'll say, I haven't talked to my friends in a while. I feel ignored and I feel lonely. And I notice that kind of in the pit of my stomach. And then you want to empathize with yourself by saying something like, this is really difficult. This is really hard. This is challenging. This is painful. This is confusing. Something like that, one of those phrases. And then you want to check in about your core belief about yourself. You want to identify what you do believe at the core of who you are. And if you don't have something that's more positive belief about yourself, what you might want to believe about yourself, even if you're not sure yet. So the core belief I have, whether or not I believe it all the time, is I am enough. And so I put that here. I have this written on a rock in my office at my work, but I don't have that rock with me. So I had an empty frame and I put it in the frame. So my belief is I am enough. That's what I go back to over and over again. I challenge you to come up with one of your own. So some others are, I will be okay, or this will end. And that one is paired with scenarios that feel like they're lasting forever. But you can remind yourself, this will come to an end. You might say, I accept myself, or I'm doing the best I can, or I am worthy of love and belonging. You might remind yourself of a belief that you have through faith practices. I know as a Christian, I can go to God created me and believes I'm lovely, or believes that I am worthy of love. And then you want to put it all together. So let's go back to that scenario of you haven't talked with your friends and you feel ignored and lonely. So I haven't talked with my friends in a while and I feel ignored and I'm feeling lonely and it's right in the pit of my stomach. And, so you want to add and, not but say and this is hard, this is painful, and I am enough. So you name the experience, you empathize, this is hard and this is painful, and you go back to that core belief. And I accept myself, and I am enough. So you put all that together, and then you ask yourself, what do I need in this moment? For me, and with anxiety, I need to take some time to breathe and just practice some meditation. For you, you may need to get some of that energy out. You may need to go for a walk. You may need to even physically kind of comfort yourself. If you feel lonely and you feel ignored, you might need to remind yourself through a self-hug or wrapping a blanket around you that you really are okay and you can be cared for. You might need to, if you're really angry or upset about something, you may need to walk away from it for a minute and find some place to breathe, to be alone, and then go back. You may need to get outside and get some fresh air. You may need to make a phone call to a friend or a family member that you trust to process the situation, to get another person's input. Okay, so you name it, you empathize with yourself, you go to that core belief, and then you put all that together and ask yourself, what do I need in this moment to care and comfort myself? So I hope this is helpful to you today. I look forward to hearing how it's helped you. If you have a statement, a belief statement about yourself that you want to share with us, feel free to do it in the comments below. Feel free to do it on the social media outlets that you see this on. And I hope to see you back here next time. Bye-bye.